Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So this morning in Johannesburg CBD, City Power, backed by police and other law enforcement, moved in on hijacked buildings, illegal electricity connections and scrap metal dealers. The mission was to claw back millions in stolen revenue and restore power capacity to a grid under siege. But behind the flashing lights and arrests, the question is this: will anything actually change, or is this another raid for the cameras?
And City Power is disconnecting illegal connections at hijacked buildings and scrap metal dealers in the Joburg CBD. The utility seeks to address revenue losses and improve the city's grid capacity. ENCA reporter Nabila Sheikh is following this operation. She joins us live now. Nabila, good morning to you. What have we seen unfold so far this morning?
Yes, generally. So they are targeting several hijacked buildings in the CBD, and it's a joint law enforcement operation. So it's not just City Power cutting off the power, but we've actually saw quite a number of arrests of undocumented migrants being made here since this morning. The police vans are actually now full to capacity in that they would have to go to the police station, drop these undocumented migrants off and then continue with their raids. So they are targeting a number of hijacked buildings in the CBD as well as some businesses. There's at least 7 that are being targeted here today. But I would like to bring in a representative from City Power to give us an idea of just exactly what they found here today, how many buildings are being targeted, and just put the numbers to us. You know, how much is the city losing because of these hijacked buildings?
Hi, good morning. This is Sergeant Taylor, Chief Risk Officer at City Power. On the joint operations of today, we have targeted 5 buildings. The total amount that is owned by these 5 buildings, it's around about 60 million. So each building is owing more than 5 million. So we've came to one of these buildings that is just behind us here, and we've noted that the building itself has got informal settlement within it, which is completely undesirable if you start to think about the safety of those kind of people. But on the same time,
Sergeant, can you also just take us through and show us, what you've found here?
Okay, this is the building, as you could see in the background here. It's more or less like rubbish that is all over, but if you look on the far corner there, you will see then that our cables were illegally connected and our electricians have just removed that. But what is quite shocking is that on the inside of this building there are some makeshift rooms where we were able to find certainly saw ladies with kids, some of them as young as 6 months old, which is quite very shocking. And we are aware that this kind of buildings, there are people who are behind these things. These people who are staying here do not just come here by themselves, but instead they are paying certain people, because that's exactly what we got to learn from some of the guys when we were interviewing them here. But there is a lot of other undocumented, foreign nationals who have since, according to the information I got from them, around about 25 of them have already been taken and they will be charged in the police station. And as you walk through, you will then see all this rubbish that is lying around here. And these people are living in this kind of an environment. And you could clearly realize that at any given time, people can easily get ill here. And this is how then our electricity is getting consumed. Unfortunately, the city of Johannesburg is losing revenue out of this criminality. And we are then trying with the police obviously in terms of the presidential Johannesburg working group to try to clean up the city so that it could be, attractive to investors.
One question I asked the CPF chairperson earlier as well was, these operations take place on a repeated basis, but we find that these buildings just continue to thrive. These people end up back here. How is this happening?
It's a bit of a complex situation to deal with because you will appreciate in terms of our laws in South Africa, if we have to evacuate these people from these buildings, we must then organize alternative accommodation for them. And we do collaborate with the Department of Human Settlement, and then there are plans that are afoot to be able to evacuate people and put them in some habitable kind of buildings. But obviously we would appreciate that government does not all have the money to be able to pull through all those programs at a very short speed of time. Yes.
So 5 buildings, collectively owing 60 million rand in debt, were raided. Each of the buildings is said to be owing more than 5 million rand to the city of Johannesburg. This is a different kind of empire. Illegal landlords, undocumented tenants, stolen electricity, stolen water, and stripped infrastructure. The conditions in these buildings is so bad that it's shocking when you hear that babies as young as 6 months were living inside them. Now, one thing that wasn't shocking was that police vans were filled to capacity with illegal foreigners. There were so many of them that the police were forced to offload them at stations before continuing raids. City Power officials also showed reporters exactly how this theft works. Hacked cables, makeshift wiring, and a web of criminal syndicates cashing in while the city bleeds revenue. Now, the concerning thing is, we've seen all of this before. These same buildings, these same raids, and these same promises. But after a week, the same illegal foreigners and occupants are back. Why? Well, according to the law, the city is bound to provide alternative housing before eviction. And since government claims it can't afford that, the cycle repeats. No security, no follow-up, and no permanent fix. This is where leadership matters. Just last month, when Mayor Dada Morero went on a 7-day leave, Kenny Gunene stepped in. In 1 week, Gunene was seen as more aggressive and effective against our city's decay than Morero has been in his entire term. Now Morero is back, and while the raids continue, the results are unclear. Where's the progress report? Which buildings have been cleared and actually kept clear? What happens to the undocumented foreigners who were arrested? Are they deported or simply released to return to the very same buildings? Because let's be clear, this so-called alternative accommodation law is protecting lawlessness. It's a loophole that keeps hijacked buildings operational, fueled by ANC mismanagement, weak governance, and a lack of political will. Johannesburg is hemorrhaging millions. Our infrastructure is collapsing. Criminal syndicates continue to run these buildings while our officials hide behind legal excuses. Raids without lasting change are not progress, they're just theater. And South Africans don't want a show, we want results. Watch the video on your left to see General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi dealing with illegal foreigners in KZN. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Until next time.